Let me get the chat working here for me. Okay, move it out over here. And why this is not working. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh, glad. I'm glad we're on. Hi. If you've okay, we just got started here. Soon we're going to be joined by my better half, Audrey, and we will see who else wants to join the chat here today. But to begin with, here we're going to let everyone know about our future plans here, and we've got some plans. As I was saying, most of you know that over the last 7 or 8 years here, Audrey has been a cruise travel agent, and it seems that the most successful things we've done is put together cruises of people who sometimes are friends, sometimes are not friends, but become friends, and we put this together. So start the recording. This what I so yeah, I don't know what that was, but anyway, we put these together, and they've just been massive successes. We've had just a wonderful, wonderful time, and it's we've gotten such positive feedback from so many people about how they enjoyed it, and they keep asking us, what's next? What's the next cruise you're going to do? So today we're going to introduce our next cruise venture here. And before we do, I'm going to bring in my wife and my partner and my lover and my friend. And here is Audrey. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Oops.
We've got a few people watching so far, but not a bunch yet.
That's okay.
There you go. All good.
That's better. I was trying
to please join the chat so we know that you're out there. Please find on your right hand side of the screen, probably there's a little area where you can chat, and you can just put in, or if you're on your phone, at the bottom of the image there should be a chat scrolling by. I'm going to say hello, old farts, right there, and you should see that now in your chat. And so please, there you go. So Audrey, I kind of introduced you, so tell us what your thoughts are about these drone cruises, about cruises, period.
Well, you know, I love cruising. I think it's the best vacation ever, and it takes the right line for the right group of people to have a great time. And so that's my job, is to make sure that that's what I find for whatever group it is. And I fell in love with Virgin because, one, it's adult only, and two, they include everything, which most of the other lines don't, including the upscale restaurants, and their food was amazing. But I was able to get them last year to agree to allow us to have drones on board. And so that's really what made this last cruise so exciting, is we had so many people that were flying drones. Even Bob's cousin has started flying drones now after the meetup last year. And so everybody, you know, we did things together, we did things on our own. Everybody had kind of their own space to do what they wanted to do. And that's part of what makes it so great, is to not have to be on a schedule. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself, you know. So at any rate, we had such a good time last year. We had 18 people on board. And I said, they all said, we want to do this again. And I said, well, you have two choices out of North America before you go to Europe somewhere. You can either do Alaska or the fall leaves on the eastern seaboard. And they all went, let's do the fall leaves. So that's what we created. And so we're calling it the Fall Leaves Drone Cruise. So Bob has done a great job, as always, putting together some beautiful graphics for what we do. And I want to fly that lighthouse. That looks really cool. Speaking of flying, I have to tell you, for those of you who haven't heard, I don't know if there's anybody who hasn't heard, that on Drone Safety Day, I crashed my drone. And so this absolutely adorable young woman who is now married, because we went to their wedding in Sedona, Callie and her girlfriend climbed all the way up this mountain to get it and found it. It was amazing. And I received my new drone, and we couldn't fly because it was too friggin' hot here. But on Sunday, Bob and I went out to a wonderful park, and I had a great time flying my drone. He was kind of impressed at how well I was doing. And I just want to get more comfortable with which thing goes which direction so that I don't fly into a mountain again. So anyway, yeah. So back to the cruise. So that's why we created this, and so that we could do something where we'd have beautiful regions to photograph. Doesn't do any good if we go to Canada and we can't fly or to Alaska, we can't fly most of the places because they're protected wildlife reserves. So, I think that was another reason we decided on this particular itinerary. And one of our couples that was on board that came out last year when we met at the meetup in Las Vegas live in New York, and they are all in for helping to organize, along with Jeff, some things that we can do in New York besides the cruise. So,
I think, there's so many guys, I know Stevie Bronx, and I know, actually Captain Ray is in New York until that time. I know that there is just so many people in that region besides, obviously Jeff, and there's a plethora of people. Eddie Nunez. There's just a wonderful, wide arrangement of a lot of very talented drone pilots in the New York area and Boston area. I know Michael Blades and Brian from from Boston there, and there are just so many people that I know that in these other areas here that I think is going to make this an added bonus for everybody that's going to go, that, we'll be able to virtually, hopefully, have a meetup in multiple cities. We'll have a meetup in New York and have a meetup in Boston, and and then go on to Portland, Maine. And I know there's some drone flyers in Maine, and I know there's people in Portland, Maine. So
speaking of that, Bob, why don't you put up what the itinerary is, as long as we're talking about that? So
here we go. Here we go. This is our next panel here. So this is the similar ship that we will be taking here. And then over here in this other panel here, I'm going to zoom it up a little bit here, so I can get it up in front here. There we go. So here is the, let me click off of that and click off of that. There we go. So here's where we're going. The cruise is starting off in New York City. There's a big, beautiful drone port there. And so and then from there, it progresses to Boston the next day. And then it goes to Portland, Maine. And I've been to Portland, Oregon, but I've never been to Portland, Maine. I've never been to Boston. This is going to be my first time in Boston. So
Not mine. It's a beautiful city.
yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I've just St. John, New Brunswick is in Nova Scotia. I understand. Okay. So that's where, and I understand that it, in fact, I just got off the phone earlier today with, I know a lot of you who tune into this show, both live and afterwards, are familiar with Cameron. And Cameron tells me he has flown in St. John's. And he said he said it's the closest city you can be at and not be in Scandinavia. It is exactly like being in Europe there.
Ah,
So
Jerry
anyway, and
says
then
St. John isn't in Nova Scotia, it's in New Brunswick, he said.
okay, huh? St. John isn't in Nova. Okay, Jerry, oh, thanks. Okay, New Brunswick. Okay. So, and then Halifax is in Nova Scotia. And Jerry, are you in Canada right now? You'll have to fly sub 250 drones in Canada. Yes, that was I was definitely going to mention that, and we'll need to talk about that. But anyway, huh?
He's in Ontario.
Oh, good. Okay, so getting back to here, yes, in Canada, you do need to register, and you can only fly a sub 250 drone. So on our last drone cruise, everyone that went most everybody brought more than one drone. So, but everybody brought at least one sub 250, a lot of Mini 4s. We probably had 5 or 6 Mini 4 Pros, and then I had a Mini 3 Pro, and Audrey brought her Mini 2. And so we have all had under 250 drones. So good. Jerry was born in Nova Scotia. Jerry, I'm going to put the link to the show if you'd like to share some pictures.
Yeah, come on in.
Hold on. Let me get the link here up here. I'm going to copy that link now. And for anyone else that's out there that's interested, don't have a screen up to see how many people are here, but please, if you're interested at all or just want to talk or show me some of your drone footage today, I would love to do it. Okay, special flight operations to fly bigger drones, but it's a pain and not sure how it's done. Okay. Well, good. Now, I think sub 250 drones is going to be our MO in Canada. And I'm just excited to be able to go fly drones in Canada, so it truly, I think that's going to be the thing there. So moving on here.
The only reason that we didn't go all the way up into Quebec was because it added another day. Plus, then it wouldn't have been returning to New York. You would have had to fly back from Quebec. And it's an 8-day itinerary as it is. And so that's why I chose not to do the longer itinerary. But these are pictures from our drone.
Here's some people that a lot of you may know. This Marcus and Sarah Crawford there. This is at the
Pink Agave.
Pink Agave is that the name of it?
Yeah, Pink Agave is a upscale Mexican flair.
Yes.
Oh my God, the food was so good.
Wonderful. And in matching Hawaiian shirts, we have Barkley and Jenna C there, and then me and Audrey, and then Julio and Evelyn Santiago, who are from White Plains, New York, which is a kind of a New York suburb area. And so we will be able to have some local guides, as they were local guides in Puerto Rico. They will be able to take us to places to fly in the suburban New York area. And I'm sure there's going to be some opportunities to find some legal places where we can fly in New York and possibly get some skylines and possibly get some monuments. You know, I know that I saw a video on YouTube not too long ago that said this is the legal way you can fly the Statue of Liberty. So there obviously is a legal way to do it. Just like here in Las Vegas, there is a legal way if you want to fly around the you know, the Sphere or the fountain at Bellagio. I mean, there is a legal way. So anyway,
so besides flying, we also want to go and see Broadway shows, and we want to go and see the new World Trade Center, and you know, some of the other sites in New York as well. So, you know, people who are interested in going and not necessarily flying, you know, there's other things we're going to do too. So, and then one of the restaurants that and Jenna and I were the ones doing shots of tequila in that restaurant. We had a good time. And so the other picture is Bob's cousins from Chicago that came, and Mary Kay, who's standing next to me, she's flying a
Mini 4 Pro.
A Mini 4 Pro.
Yeah.
That was her first drone she bought. She was doing a great job. We were all impressed with how good she was doing. And
yep.
So they all want to come again too. So you know, we're starting to get a great following of people that just want to go have fun and be together and fly and enjoy each other. So
the two ladies in that picture there, those are this is Mary Kay and this is Debbie, and we all grew up together. Those are my first cousins, and it's just wonderful that I've been able to expand this drone love into my family love, and it's really just turned out to be wonderful here. So let me get down to
RJ. Thank you for reminding everybody. Oh no, it was Coast to Coast that said that. Please give the stream a big thumbs up. So
oh yeah, thanks, Bill. That's Bill Thomas, and his show is on tonight. I saw his illustration tonight for Bill Thomas's show. Yeah. It was really funny. He's like, where are the DJIs gone? You know, it's you know, this whole dilemma we will have here. It is now, I think everyone's drone has increased in value at least 2 times if DJI does not regain the ability to sell drones in the United States. So
well, we're working hard at trying to help make it possible. So
yes, and getting gifts from people who live in other countries may become a new thing, you know. So all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, let's see. Hey, yeah, Ron Johnson's there. All right. Oh, Skybound Media. Hey, Corey. Yeah. So on the cruise, this Virgin Cruise Line, I left this up on the screen just because if anybody hasn't cruised on Virgin before, okay, it is very different. If you've been on a regular cruise line, you know, Carnival or Royal Caribbean or Norwegian or something like that. Those are wonderful, wonderful cruises, and I'm sure you came back just thrilled. But Virgin does things differently than most other cruise lines.
Than anybody else.
Far, my opinion is they do it better than a lot of other cruise lines. So that's, but you have to be the judge. I know that there are people too that necessarily didn't like Virgin. So, it's
not many.
It's a different cruise line. That's for sure. Wi-Fi is included, a pretty fair is what I would say. Wi-Fi that they have, they do have a premium that you can buy. And I have to tell you, if you think you have to have it, it's probably worth it then. But I didn't need it. And when I was posting anything from the cruise ship or from the cruise trip, it was usually when we were in port. And when we were in port, I was be able to get a decent Wi-Fi or a decent cellular signal. And, and I know that most cell carriers, cover both the United States and Canada as one. So I do believe that's going to be the case. Fortunately, we're with T-Mobile, and in the Caribbean, every port we landed, we got a notice that you're covered here. Phone calls were like 50 cents a minute, but text and data were free. So it was nice to be like that. So anyway, tips and gratuities. I hate when people always got their hand out. That doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't. It's uncomfortable, and then you never know what's the right amount. Should I, what do I do? On Virgin, this is covered. They pay their staff better than other cruise lines, and we now know from talking to many of their people, they treat their staff much better than any other cruise line. So
somebody thinks you should be president in 2028. I don't think so.
Thanks, RJ. Hey, we would have a much more peaceful world, that's for sure.
I will say that even though they cover everything, we always tip our cabin steward some extra money, or
the guy that's making your bed every day, and making sure
restaurants or somebody at the bars that really takes good care of you. You might want to throw them a little extra money, but nobody's ever asking
or $40 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. Anyway,
so, moving right along.
All dining. I'm going to let Audrey talk about the dining on Virgin.
It doesn't get much better. It really doesn't. And everyone, no matter what level cabin you're in, is that it's all complimentary. So the problem with some of the upscale restaurants is getting the reservations. And so sometimes, because of people who aren't in the Rockstar cabins, don't get to book their dining registration or the times until 45 days before, and they get 60. So it's hard to get the times that you want. But I have found if you go down to the desk on board, and say, listen, I really need an earlier time. Can you fit me in here or fit me in there? Go to the restaurant. Sometimes they'll make accommodations for you. So you just got to learn how to work the system. But there's a fabulous Italian restaurant, like we said, the Mexican restaurant. There's a steak and seafood restaurant. There's a place called Test Kitchen, which if you're into unusual kinds of, they're just going to serve you what they cook up. It's more about the experience, although the food was good, but it's more about the experience. And so that's kind of place where either you love it or you don't. So that's available. And also Razzle Dazzle, one of my all-time favorite places. And they make the best breakfast, and they have candy bacon that is bar none. Just, I mean, you want to get an extra order to take with you for later. So yeah, it's just the food itself is amazing. There's other areas of the ship. They have a pizza parlor. They have, you know, what they call it's sort of like their version of the buffet, but it's not a buffet. Everything is cooked to order. You have bento boxes down there you can bring up and put in your refrigerator for later, because every cabin has a refrigerator. They bring you fresh water every day. The pizza parlor is really great. The ice cream is to die for, and they have cheeky names. Like the ice cream parlor is called Lick Me Till I Scream. So it's just everything about it is really fun. The shows are really fun. And everything about it is different and interactive and unusual and just great talent. Nobody's on the loudspeaker, which they are on all the other cruise lines. You have to follow on your app what's going on and when and where. They do provide a itinerary every day of what the activities are on the ship, but you curate your own trip. You know, they don't force you into anything. And if you're into fitness classes, they've got all kinds of fun stuff down there with a great gym. And so there's so much to do on the ship that a lot of people don't even care where they're going. They just want to be on the ship. So
we've met many times people that get on and they've never gotten off the ship. They don't, or they say, well, we've been here 100 times. We don't care. We're not worried about that. This is the only thing that we want to do is just enjoy this.
So keep scrolling, Bob, because I think people want to talk about drone stuff and people want to talk about the meetup in November. So I don't want to spend the whole
if you're going to take a picture of the screen today, if you're interested at all, and I know I'm going to promote this video to, on the channel and other channels quite a bit when we're finished today. But if you're here is, let me bump it a little bit there. Here's where to make contact. This is, we do not have a website yet for this, but this is that will be available probably soon. But I mean, if you're interested at all, contact Audrey, send her a text, call her, whatever. That's wide open. That's the phone she has hooked to her body 24/7. And
they usually have a link that you can send out to your sailors to be able to book from if they want to do it themselves. But because I've created a group now, in order to get the discounted cabin fare that I've got, they don't have that availability. So that's why you have to call me. But by calling me, I make sure that I get your cabin where you want it anyway. So then show them the prices and then let's move on to the meetup, Bob.
Okay. All right.
And this is the schedule too. So as you can see, most places, not all places, but definitely in Boston and Portland, we're there later into the evening, which a lot of the cruise lines are out of there by 5 o'clock. So
8 p.m. Boston, we get to stay in Boston till 8 p.m. Yeah, so we can have dinner in Boston. We can go to the Cheers bar, have dinner. What do you think?
So these prices that you're seeing are for 2 people in the cabin, and that's including everything. So, except your bar tab and any tours that, if you wanted to take a tour off the ship, which I don't know that we'd have time for because we're going to be flying in every port. So, but some people might want to do an excursion, and those will be available on the ship. So, before you sail, but they're not included in the price. And if you want to splurge, they call them rock star cabins for a reason, because they treat you like a rock star. I had a couple on the previous itinerary, and you'll see them over in the other picture over there. Jerry and her husband, and he had never been on a cruise before, and they decided to do a rock star cabin, and so they're coming too, but they're not going back. They're staying in the rock star cabin. So they do two events on every sailing. They have a pajama party the night we sail away, and you dress in your pajamas, and they're pouring, champagne when we pull out of the dock, and then they have what they call Scarlet Night, and everybody, as you can see from the picture, is all dressed in red. Even though Bob looks like he's got white on, which he had a white jacket, he's still got a red shirt on. I tried to get him to wear sequins, but he just wasn't having it. So what are you going to do? So, but anyway, it's one hell of a fun party from all over the ship into the pool, and some people actually end up in the pool. So it's a very fun time, and hard to think that anybody is going to walk away feeling like they didn't enjoy themselves and have a great time. So anyway, more to come as we organize the land part of what we're doing. But for right now, the idea is to start filling up the group. And so any questions you have, I'll answer them as best I can. And if I can't answer it, I'll get you an answer. So anyway, that's it. Let's talk about the meetup, Bob.
Well, okay. So the Vegas Drone meetup is coming up here November 7, 8, and 9. And I'm still shooting for by 4th of July. We will have the registration open. I do believe we're not changing the pricing. So it will be the same, I believe, as it was last year. Last year it was $49.95, and that included a bag full of gifts that were worth more than $49.95. Okay. And it included a raffle prize. Last year we had thousands of dollars of gifts to give away, and I think almost everybody left with something, kind of thing. And we also, it's including 2 meals. We have a drink on Friday night, and we have a breakfast on Saturday morning together from a great menu at a great restaurant, the same restaurant where we have the Friday night party. And
we also have some hors d'oeuvres there too. So
yeah, well, there'll be plenty of munchies and bar food stuff, to grab. And then, last year, a lot of people sat down and just ordered dinner. And it was a great place to socialize and enjoy a beautiful evening in Las Vegas here. So, and then we go to Cornerstone Park. I am about 50% finished with filling out all the paperwork I need to fill out for Cornerstone Park. And we are moving forward with just going to, this is going to be just a great time, a lot of participation from everyone. Last year and again this year, we will have our Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We'll be there to demonstrate their drone capabilities and their really expanding drone department here in Las Vegas. So you'll get to see that. And then, there'll be a lot of other things, and then a fabulous lunch. The barbecue truck from last year is coming back. Okay, if you were here last year for the meetup, it's coming back. So, and then
I would have gotten tarred and feathered if I hadn't had that barbecue truck back.
It's good. It was really good. Yep. So, and then we're looking for more of a Mexican taco flavored type of truck at the moment, and of course we have to have a truck that is approved by the city of Henderson, has a Henderson business license, has a health inspection, all the right credentials, in order to be at Cornerstone Park. And we're
Bob,
very
you
happy.
forgot about the training on Friday morning.
What's that?
You forgot about the training on Friday morning that we're going to do.
I'm leaving that. I was going to, talk about that Friday, but I do want to get to Sunday. So, but
Okay.
Friday, we met with Pilot Institute, Audrey and myself, and Tom Dowling, and Deb, and Keith, and Roz. We all, the whole committee, except for Isaiah and Callie, because they had just gotten married the day before.
And
But,
our doggies. And our doggies.
And our doggies, we all met at Pilot Institute in Prescott, Arizona, and we got the tour of a lifetime and saw everything that they're doing, and what a wonderful, wonderful organization that is. I know I've felt that long before I ever saw it, but it was just they're the kind of business every business should be.
They're a class.
I have to tell you that. I feel strongly about that, and that's why they succeed. So anyway, but Greg and a few other people are planning multiple classroom sessions on Friday, November 7th. Okay. We are looking to have 2 or 3 classrooms that we can have a morning session and an afternoon session. And one of the ideas, which I'm going to eke out, is we're wanting to have a class on doing 3D mapping and modeling, and immediately adjacent to the building where the classrooms are is the stadium for the Henderson Silver Knights. And it is in a fairly easy spot to get an immediate glance approval. So we are checking in with the city of Henderson, the Henderson Park District, and to make this a possibility. So if you're interested in learning how to do mapping and 3D mapping, and you can do it, they're telling I can do this with my Mini 3 Pro. So it is amazing what's possible these days, and it's a whole other realm of drone flying that I haven't been into. But you can learn how to do this there. Also, if you do not, go ahead.
There will be other activities, other trainings going on as well. And all of that is going to be on the registration page of what it is and how you're going to get to it. So
right. Somebody's phone is ringing.
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just click it off.
Okay.
So
the other thing is 107. Most of you know, and maybe by November, okay, we will have more information about a 108 class. Who knows? So that could be a reality anyway. But if you don't already have a 107 and you are interested in getting a 107, I believe we will have like a preview 107 class there with instructors, live instructors, and you can kind of get the the basics of getting yourself started on what to do, getting yourself registered with the FAA. You need this IATS or something number, kind of thing. You need to set up an account, kind of thing. So you actually have a federal government login if you don't already have one. As a old fart, we have our Social Security and Medicare logins, which is which is the same federal government login, kind of thing. So that's all good. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Good to see you. So anyway, there's going to be, all different kinds of activities, but the real thing here that I want to, which you're going to hear about over and over and over, is Sunday. If you're here on Sunday and possibly Monday, this is a holiday weekend. Tuesday is Veterans Day, November 11th. Monday is November 10th, the birthday of the Marine Corps. So if you're here, we may have some activities on Tuesday and Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. But here we can, we're going to have, we've had adventures. Those of you that came last year, we had a book that you could go to. And then, as you know, I rented a big 15-passenger van, and we took people out to Red Rock. We wanted to go to, some places that if you've never been to Las Vegas or you've never flown your drone in Las Vegas, there is just a wide variety of wonderful places that you can go and be legal and really, really enjoy just some beautiful Southwest desert, mountainous areas, just a tremendous amount of things to see and fly within an hour of Las Vegas. So, so there is a group we are associated with now called Drone Envisions, and they are putting together drone tours that's not just for Vegas Drone Meetup. This is going to be an ongoing business for them. And they're taking you to some areas that you just can't rent a car and drive to. Okay, you would severely damage a car. You need a very huge off-road vehicle. You have to make multiple stops to deflate your tires at certain intervals, and they take you for an entire day for, beginning, a morning, get together, and then, headed out, and then lunch out in this spot that's, you're like in the middle of a red rock mountainous area that is just filled with different shapes and around you that are just beautiful, and multiple red rocks that are arched and holes to fly through. And it is just, it's one of the most beautiful places. I've lived in Las Vegas for 51 years, and this place called Bitter Springs, what I'm telling you about, I never heard of or never been to in 51 years until Isaiah and Drone Envisions took me, out there. I've been out there twice now with them. And I have to tell you.
And there will be a sign up for those events and the price of them on the registration page as well.
But we're going to have them register at Drone Envision's website. So anyway, but yes, so that's going to happen on Sunday for sure. So if this interests you, you've got to move fast because there's a very, very limited, it may be, 10, maybe 12 spots to do this. So it's going to be a very limited endeavor. So anyway, and what else? We want the hotel. You want to talk about the hotel, Audrey?
The hotel? We don't have a hotel.
That's what I want to talk about.
We can't use the hotel we used last year because they closed down one of the towers because they're remodeling, and the prices were just ridiculous. So we figured everybody would find their own hotel this year. I may have some suggestions, which I'm working on, and we'll throw that out. But we're not going to have a host hotel. And almost everybody that came had some vehicle or had somebody to ride with or whatever. So, but the other activities that we're doing are all going to be basically centered around where we were last year in the district. Same restaurant, Parkway Tavern, and where the Lee Family Forum is like 2 blocks away from there. So everything is going to be
all walking distance from that area around Green Valley.
Yeah, it
so
is.
If you wanted to come without a car, it would be possible.
Well, if you get there.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're going to stay. So I'm looking into a couple of places that I can suggest as hotels, but I just want people to know that we are not going to have the host hotel like we did last year. So.
And I do want to tell people that, you can there are places to rent a hotel room if that's all you want that are much cheaper. And with the difference in money, you can rent a car. And I think that would serve you much better to do, kind of thing. So, I mean, that's the
don't look for too cheap a place because number one, it's in a bad location, but number two, it's a very busy time. There's big conventions at that same time.
Yes.
And so all the prices are higher than they normally are.
Some of them are, yes.
So, most of them are, because I looked around. So I want people to know that, that they need to really look around. I tell everybody to go to Trivago because I think you get better prices on Trivago than anywhere else. So, but I'm going to see what I can find too. So.
Okay. Well, good. If there's anybody else out there that wants to jump in, I want to put I'll put the link to the show here. And
I don't think you're going to see Santa Bob at the meetup. So.
What's that,
honey? Skybound Media wants to know if Santa's going to show up for the kids.
Oh. It's right around that time that I have all my gear ready. That would be fun. Yes, that would be great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Mike, share the hotel. What did you get? Yeah, definitely. Mike says he already got a hotel. So
which
that's
one?
Good. Okay. Good. Mike, did you see the cruise information? We're going to New York. So I'm looking forward to it. So jump in here, anybody, if anybody wants to jump in. If not, I'm going to sign off. But this video of today's show, I'm going to share it on every station I can possibly share it on. And we are looking forward to creating another extremely fun cruise that's going to be something you're going to remember the rest of your life. And and we're gonna put together this Vegas drone meetup that we've proven last year we can have a wonderful time here, and we're somehow capturing that brotherhood and that camaraderie and the just a really feel good event that I felt when I went to the South Florida drone meetup and Ray Kelly and all of those guys, Maddie and Johnny and everybody made this just feel like the most friendly, wonderful community, which it is. And we've been encouraged by Ray Kelly and by Johnny and by a lot of people to have this meetup in Las Vegas. And I'm just thrilled that we're getting to do it. I'm really happy, and I appreciate anybody that's hung in here with us for the whole almost hour here. I appreciate you hanging in with us. Okay. Any
Mike,
final words there, Audrey?
Mike, thanks for the hotel name. I'm going to go check them out and see what their rates are, because I have another project that I'm looking into rates for too. So, but I'm also going to see if I can find a decent rate somewhere closer to the Strip for people who want to be closer to the Strip, and just send that recommendation out. But we're not going to have a block like we did last time. So, but thank you. I appreciate finding out which one it was, because I was looking for some places that were in Henderson, and so I appreciate that. So,
Towns Place Suites by Marriott in Henderson. Okay,
I got it.
That sounds like an excellent spot. We should go look at that, Audrey. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. So, in the meantime, I'm signing off because I have to go to the doctor today. But I appreciate being on the show with all of you old farts today, and look forward to seeing you all in November. Bye.
All right. And with that, I'm gonna also sign out here. Okay. I really appreciate everyone. Like I say, if you've stuck to the end here, that's great. We'll see you all there. Mike's going to be there. All right. I know there's going to be a lot of other great people here, and we're just in the beginning stage. But today we wanted to make sure that everybody got this message, that this is what we're going to, you'll be able to download this PDF that I'm showing on the screen right now. You'll be able to download this PDF file in a very short time. Or if you want it today, send me a text message or send me a messenger message or whatever. But we are going to do a round trip from New York City that starts in New York. We're going to plan on a couple days extra in New York. I know Audrey wants to see Broadway shows, and I want to visit with Stevie Bronx and Eddie Nunez and everybody that we've gotten to know that are in the New York area. Julio Santiago, my buddy, that we become connected there. I'm going to hang out. We're going to go fly somewhere together for sure. But I mean, we're going to make this a fun trip, both before and after the cruise. And so we got, so this is going to start in New York. Here's the map. We're going to Boston, Portland, Maine, St. John's, and Halifax. St. John's in New Brunswick and Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then come back to New York. Of course, this is a fun party here in this long haul back to New York. And then, so here's some pictures from the last cruise. And this cruise line includes everything. Wi-Fi, no upscale charge for any restaurant. You do need to make a reservation, and we'll teach you the system on how to get good reservations there. Fitness classes, all the tips and gratuities are covered. You can also add to that, but you don't have to. And soda and water are always available to you. And there's some of the most incredible entertainment on these cruise lines. And here's the info. That's a cabin, one of the cabins. This is what the balcony, which they call a sea terrace, looks like. Everyone has a red hammock, so you can lay on this hammock and look at the ocean and just feel like a king there. That's for sure. And there's the schedule and the prices, and they price everything by per cabin. So the prices are for two people. So except for that top price, which is for a single, but you still have the entire cabin. Okay, and Virgin is an adult only cruise line. You have to be over 18 years old, and it is definitely a unique experience, and it's really a great time. Thank you all. I'm going to sign out. I appreciate you, and we will see you soon. We will be back next week, and hopefully I'm going to have a couple of people I know on next week, and we'll see how that goes. Talk to you later. Thank you.